Alright, this one is Cutie Mark Chronicles, and what do you think from that title? It's about the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and I mean, it follows them, but then it focuses in on everyone else instead of them, but, we'll get to that. Okay, we start out there doing their usual thing, trying to get their cutie marks, now by ziplining, because, heck, that might be their destiny, but, alright, it's kind of weird how this one fails, though. Yeah, they, I guess, use a rope instead of whatever a zip line usually uses. But okay, and it's too slack, so they get they cause like a friction burn, and they stop in the middle because it goes slack, and then they burn right through it, fall through a pine tree, and end up covered in pine needles and tree sap. So okay, but anyway, they decide though, yeah, it actually makes you feel a little sorry for them now. They uh, keep trying stuff, and I mean, it just keeps falling flat. So one of those difficult moments of being a kid. But anyway, they decide to go ask other ponies around town how they earn their cutie marks. Scootaloo, who I guess it turns out is like a Rainbow Dash fangirl. She tries to suggest Rainbow Dash, like giving them a hint. But yeah, they keep thinking she means everyone else in the gang. And she's like, well, yeah, Scootaloo says, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. She's fat, she's tough, she's not afraid of anything. Oh, you mean Pinkie Pie? No, the greatest flyer ever come out of Cloudsdale. Oh, Fluttershy. And yeah, by that point, you think they'd just be screwing with her. I mean, the implication is that they're not, but yeah, Fluttershy, like, but okay, moving on. Anyway, okay, they take off. The Scootaloo on her scooter pulls the other two along, and then they crash into Applejack, who is chasing rabbits who must be related to Fluttershy's bunny. They're just like stealing apples just so they can make fun of Applejack. But anyway, they ask Applejack how she got her cutie mark. I can't talk today, but okay, and yeah, even though Scootaloo wanted to find a Rainbow Dash, they just decide they need all the help they can get. And so we get Applejack's backstory. Back when she was really young, it turns out she didn't always want to work on the apple farm. She wanted to go live in the big city, see what that was like. So she went to live with her aunt and uncle, the Oranges. And and it was only the brother and Granny Smith on the farm, and we don't. So I guess are they and Apple Bloom the only ones that live there? I won't speculate. But okay. So yeah, Applejack got there, and I mean, of course, they're all prim and proper and high society. That you think they'd be Rarity's family, but okay, yeah, Applejack, of course, has her country accent and everything. She says y'all, and she's politically innate or quaint, whatever they said. But yeah, they vow to turn her into a lady, and then a couple weeks later, it seems like they've got it down. She has her hair done up all fancy like. She talks like Rarity now, and yeah. Okay. So she fits in pretty well at the party they throw, but she just problem that she doesn't like it. She gets city noise instead of the quiet farm, and I mean, instead of being woken up by a rooster, well, I don't know. I guess she's on her own on that one. But and then the portion sizes too. They have the fancy hors d'oeuvre type food that it's just too small to feed a flea. So and I guess I don't know if they said anything. Oh yeah, the last episode, the bird on the in the hoof, Applejack has worked up a huge appetite. Well, I guess I'm guessing the implication is she has a big appetite. So okay, she's lonely, she's homesick, she's up one morning watching the sunrise, and then a rainbow shoots by and points directly back to the farm. So I guess then Applejack realizes that that's what she was where she was meant to be. So she runs all the way home. She jumps into her family's arms, and then her cutie mark appears, and yeah, in her words, she's been happily working the farm ever since. So she runs off to happily chase rabbits, and the group gives it a 2 out of 3 approval rating. Scootaloo thought it was really sappy, so yeah, they move on to find Rainbow Dash, and this time they nearly crash into Fluttershy, and I'm not sure if this was the intention, but I kind of like that when Fluttershy starts talking to them and brings up how she wouldn't have gotten her cutie mark without Rainbow Dash. Like they don't like Scootaloo even Scootaloo doesn't get short with her. So it's like they remember that. I'm not sure if it was the intention, but it's like they remember that Fluttershy kind of won their respect before. So I do appreciate that. But okay. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, Fluttershy's story is that, in her own words, she was totally different when she was young. She was very shy and not a good flyer. So okay, but yeah, she just messed up. I guess a trick or something she was trying to do, and the bullies, who I'm pretty sure were the same bullies from that Sonic Rainboom episode, they gathered around, started making fun of her, and so then Rainbow Dash showed up, and yeah, got in their face, and yeah, Rainbow Dash doesn't have her cutie mark at the moment either, so okay, they challenge each other, they decide to settle the argument with a race, and Fluttershy is just the one waving the starting flag while Rainbow Dash races the other two. I'm pretty sure there were 3 bullies before, but only 2 this time, so okay. They take off, and they knocked Fluttershy off of the cloud she was standing on while waving the flag, so yeah, I don't know, we saw she could barely fly, so she just kind of fell like a rock with her back facing the ground, so I guess you can't fly upside down is the other thing, so falls all the way down, can't catch herself, and she ends up being caught by some butterflies, which, I don't know, if anyone has ever been caught by a swarm of butterflies and saved from falling, please let me know, I have to hear that story, but, okay, in the meantime, Fluttershy is wowed by everything she finds on the ground. She's never been there before, she just lived in the Cloud City all her life, so, yeah, I'd like to know where her parents are, but okay. So she decides she's gonna live on the ground from now on. She just all the animals, the plants. She's in Fluttershy heaven, and then a rainbow explosion goes off. So I think you can tell right away that yeah, another way this is tying back to that Sonic Rainboom episode. That one did say that Rainbow Dash pulled off the Sonic Rainboom exactly once before. So yeah, I think yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked up on when I saw that yeah, that's what they were referencing, that's what this was. But okay, the rainbow, the boom, it scares all the animals into hiding, and Fluttershy is able to coax them back out, realizing she can talk to them. So yeah, now she has animal friends for life, and that's what gets her the cutie mark. So, but when Scootaloo realizes that Rainbow Dash is out of this story after the part about knocking Fluttershy off the clouds, she takes off. She gets the others to take off, although they're a little more polite about it than with Fluttershy. Scootaloo does say, well, I can't take any more singing, but yeah, she doesn't, like, snub Fluttershy on the, like, oh, I don't like that story kind of thing. So, okay, moving on, they go to find Rarity to find Rainbow Dash, however that works, but they think Rarity might know where Rainbow Dash is for some reason, and then they get the story of her cutie mark. She pretty much always wanted to do fashion, but yeah, she couldn't get any praise. Like, she would do costumes for plays and stuff, little elementary school plays, but she couldn't get any higher praise than they're nice. So, okay, she didn't like that. She wanted them to be awesome, and she just couldn't make it happen. And then, yeah, her horn in the middle of the night, the night before the play, while she's working on this, it lit up, and just yeah, random unicorn magic and kind of a funny scene. It dragged her all the way across, like over the hills, far away, and yeah, well, she's talking about it to them, like yeah, she knew this was a great moment, this was her destiny, and all that. But you see her in the flashback, she's just staring blankly, like she at first is trying to fight it, and then she's staring blankly as she's dragged up and down hills. So okay, then she finally stops at just a giant boulder and starts to freak out, but then a rainbow explosion goes off. Could this be a pattern? And splits the rock, and there's a bunch of her trademark plastic jewels inside. So, okay, she glues those onto the school play costumes, and it's a big hit, and her cutie mark appears, and Scootaloo's getting sick of this now, doesn't want all the stories about finding out who you are. She wants action and that big shot adventure that ends with yeah, you get a cutie mark because you're awesome. So okay, so it's like that's the message, that you know your destiny is who you are, not Yeah, you don't have to be a hero, I guess. So, okay. So yeah, she shoves them out the door, and cut to the next scene with no segue. They're just talking to Twilight now because, yeah, get the pattern. We have to go through everyone else first. And okay, Twilight is yeah, she I guess saw one of Princess Celestia's festivals, and she was so wowed by the princess doing magic that she decided that's what she wanted to do. So she spent a lot of time studying, and yeah, her parents enrolled her in Princess Celestia's school, but she had to pass an entrance exam that nobody told her about, so she had no way to prepare for. And the entrance exam, it turns out, was hatching Spike. So this is also how he entered the picture. But yeah, starts off she couldn't hatch it. She could barely get her horn to do a few sparks. I mean, she only got so far with magic, and yeah, tried to put some extra effort into it. She tried to add a lot of breakdancing, but nothing helped. And so okay, she was right about to fail, but then the rainbow explosion happened again, and it just like ignited something. She completely cut loose, like her eyes lit up, like we've seen happen. She hatched Spike and then turned her parents into a cactus and something else, and transformed the people grading the test, and then just started to go like an overload of magic until Princess Celestia herself took notice and stepped in and I guess hit the off switch or whatever, and said that yeah, Twilight has more raw ability than any unicorn she'd ever seen. So that's why she wanted Twilight as her student, because she knew that Twilight needed someone to coach her, draw out her power, and also because obviously Twilight was the best she'd ever seen. And that's when Twilight's spark or whatever magic spark Cutie Mark appeared. So okay, Twilight. Yeah, Twilight's kind of the adorable nerd in this flashback. She is falling out. She jumps for joy and then falls over herself when Celestia points out the Cutie Mark, and then that's like the cut loose. She starts bouncing around the room, and then cut to the present, and she's also started doing that and with nostalgic joy. So okay, the Cutie Mark Crusaders kind of sneak away while she's still in Twilight Heaven, and okay, the next one they're then riding away, and just they're talking about where to find Rainbow Dash, and then out of nowhere, Pinkie Pie sits up behind them on the wagon that's in the wagon Scooter was pulling, and yeah, well, it says they should go to the the bakery, the whatever it is. I think its name was Sugar Cube Corner, so that's where Pinkie Pie wants them to go, just because yeah, she likes her sweets, remember? And okay, I'm not doing a very good job of describing it this time. I mean, it's like one story into the other, and I mean, I don't know, starting and stopping with the I recall here, so I apologize, but okay. Anyway, though, long story short, Pinkie Pie promises them the story of her Cutie Mark if they go there, and hers was she's apparently Amish. She was raised on a rock farm, and her sisters and her parents, they just used to push rocks around for no explained reason. But okay, then I guess Pinkie Pie, she just had straight hair. She was incredibly glum all the time. And then while her family was inside one day, at the end of the day, the rainbow explosion went off, and she saw it like the shock waves gave her hair that poof it always has, and she smiled for the first time, and she knew that this is how she wanted things to be. So, but the rainbow faded, and she was like, okay, how can I keep this going? And she just decided to throw her family a party. And the next day, they come in, they find her at the end of setting it up, and they look like they're about to snap. They're just like, and so they make you wait for a second to see what their reaction is going to be, and then of course they start smiling and break into dances, just enjoying the party and everything. So okay, but still, yeah, interesting way to set that up, just having to be like, okay. So yeah, then Pinkie Pie got her balloon Cutie Mark, and that's also back in the present when they arrive at the Sugar Cube Corner place. So okay, they all get off, go inside, and there's only a few minutes left, so Rainbow Dash is there, and yeah, I guess everybody else is there too, actually, so they've all filled Rainbow Dash in that the three Cutie Mark Crusaders are looking for her. And then when she hears Scootaloo say that, I've been waiting all day to hear that story, she's actually a little bit bashful, which was kind of a cute touch there. That, Rainbow likes to say that she's awesome, but when she actually hears somebody else say it, she doesn't know how to take it. She's not used to that. So okay, but so let's see. Okay, so hers was also the race. Lined up against the two bullies, one of which already had his Cutie Mark, one didn't. So they took off and they knocked Fluttershy off the cloud, but yeah, they didn't notice that. They just kept going. Rainbow thought she was standing up for Fluttershy, so of course she, wasn't going to stop. And okay, yeah, the bully without a Cutie Mark goes down right away. He hits a turn wrong and crashes. But the other one, right as Rainbow's just starting to realize how much she loves going this fast, just loves the adrenaline rush, tries to cheat. It bumps her. He bumps her, knocks her out of the loop, so she puts on an extra burst to come back because she also discovers now she really likes winning. And that's when she hits the Sonic Rain Boom and, just completely wipes the other guy out too and wins the race. And, realizes that she's turned legend into reality and all that. And so she gets her Rainbow Lightning Cutie Mark. And that's when actually everyone else hears this and they realize now that that was what got all of them their Cutie Marks, that the rainbow going off at the last second was the Sonic Rain Boom. So, okay, and after they all put it together and realized that they all owe their Cutie Marks to Rainbow Dash, they also realize that they've had, I guess, this connection their whole lives without even knowing it. So they pull out a little bit of a theme there on how, maybe you do share like a bit of a common destiny with your friends. And I mean, that's the other thing about this episode too. It acknowledges that this stuff can be a little bit sappy, and Scootaloo more than ever is groaning at this, rolling her eyes. So it acknowledges that it can be kind of sappy, and it doesn't hesitate to make jokes about it. But it's done a lot more intelligently than a lot of similar shows that have done it to death. Like, I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, and that never stopped gushing about friendship and destiny. And I mean, it wasn't like it didn't connect to really anything in the episode. It just said it. It just found dramatic ways to make the claim, whereas this finds proof. So yeah, it's definitively more mature than Yu-Gi-Oh, which I think is meant for the 12, 13 crowd maybe. So I mean, it's one bit of credit you have to give it, that it at very least has some maturity for what it is, this show. But okay, so let's see. Okay, they're about to cut away. Fluttershy, they go out with Fluttershy saying, "Hey, how about a song?" And yeah, Scootaloo's in sentimental hell. And then cut to Twilight with the moral. She sums it up. She goes on about. I mean, the speech she gives is kind of an encouraging number on if you haven't met your friends yet, the people you want to be around. Her line is, "Look up at the sky. You might just all be looking at the same rainbow." And Spike gags at that. He's like, "When did you get so cheesy?" And she's like, "Yeah, just write it, Spike." And that's kind of what I like about this episode. It makes jokes about it, but it doesn't go so far as to say that it's just kidding. It does kind of deliver this moral. I mean, this one, this plays like they were aiming for sort of a high concept thing. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. It ties into another episode too. I don't know if that's maybe now that we're in the final stretch, I don't know if they're going to build from that. But okay, so yeah, that's the episode, and just with not long after the last time I said this, I thought it was another really, really good one. I don't know. I mean, it once again balances all 6 characters. This is probably the best it's been done so far, and I mean, it draws out, what there is to like about them, and that's what each backstory sort of emphasizes, and that was done really well. And I mean, the stuff with the Cutie Mark Crusaders in between was pretty funny, and they don't fade out of focus. They're not just the bridge, we do sort of have them doing what they do and sort of getting into how they take this more Scootaloo than anyone else. But okay, so let's see. I mean, commenting on them one at a time. Let's see. Applejack's really warm and charming, so and that's Applejack. let me see, Fluttershy's was, I mean, she's once again the one taking it on the chin, but yeah, that's okay. It's just like she still finds solace, and she's the really nice, sensitive one, in that she's able to find stuff that everybody else misses because of that. So, Rarities was really funny. Like, they had the really great deadpan humor. So, okay, and I mean, but it was also just, I mean, it wasn't a cop out story either. I mean, it sort of got you behind Rarity's dilemma, like how she, a day in the life of Rarity. So, pretty good there too. Okay, let's see. The next one, Twilight, and I appreciate that they didn't say Twilight for last. They didn't. The other thing about the show, it's never has to do it a certain way. Never has just an exact structure mapped out that it's always going to follow. So like Twilight is not the main point this time around, even though hers was probably hers and Rainbow Dash, but yeah, hers was one of the ones with the most sort of, I guess, backstory filled in and all of that. How she became Celestia's student, how Spike came along, and just all that. Why Celestia knows Twilight is so powerful, and why she's the element of magic and all that. So okay. And plus, just like the Twilight, we see off again, on again. She's the leader. She's our underdog hero, but she's also really funny when the time comes. Like how, yeah, she can become sort of hyper and over the top when it's time in the right circumstances. So yeah, hers was really fun. Hers might have even been a standout, but okay. And then Pinkie Pie's one, I mean, she's supposed to be laughter. Hers was kind of sweet, actually. I mean, that's the other thing, that there's always at least a little bit of character to Pinkie Pie, even though she's basically a Looney Tune. And I mean, it's like even though just the character is almost a foolproof formula for at least some comedy, there is sort of also a sweetness that's integral to the character. So props for that. And okay, and then Rainbow Dash, and that's the other thing too, that they no perfect division all the way across. They let one of them, just one of them, be a key player here, and it's not Twilight. Which okay, and I mean, I don't know. I don't think that. I mean, I'm not picking up from what's happened so far that this show has Rainbow Dash above any of the others, but it does just sort of fit that she would be the one to do something that really big that is a key point in all of this. So, because I mean, she's the one who goes looking for big things. So, okay, I guess, yeah, when the time's appropriate, just one of them can have their moments, even if it's a little bit above the rest. But okay. And hers, that was the messed up haircut and stuff. She was pretty cute too. But the what? Yeah, standing up for Fluttershy, and going toe to toe with these bullies. I mean, all of it, just fine. Of course, Sonic Rainboom. That is about. I mean, for something that still has to be distinctly My Little Pony. That's an awesome name, awesome trick. So, okay, well done there. And yeah, I just went on forever about that, and it was all just gushing. So, yeah, I mean, this show's probably going to force me to embarrass myself a couple of times like this before it's all said and done. But yeah, really good episode, high concept. They thought everything out really well. So, I mean, basically, this one was everything the show does best. And I might even say, it might be the best one we've had so far. It was just, I think it deserves all the nice things I say about this show. So, it was that good. It really was. So, it was so good, it makes me keep tripping over myself to describe it. But, okay. I don't know. I mean, I guess, come to think of it, saying that much, I should probably, how this show fits in, like, as a whole in the broad spectrum of shows, like, how is good for this show compared to good for, like, some of the greatest cartoons of all time. And I mean, I don't know. The thing is, yeah, it's like the average episode of this show, it's just, it's good, but I mean in the way that, like I said, that a lot of other shows that, we still see can be good. But, well, yeah, that made no sense. A lot of other shows that are on TV right now that are above average it's like at that sort of a level. Just it's sort of like we get standoff episodes that standalone, episodes that have a lot. I mean, have a lot going for them, easy to appreciate, but still, I see it when it's on. You're not like rushing to the internet to where can I get 10 more of these. It's like it's good for when you feel like watching TV, but okay. But it does also have a few episodes like these that just every so often, like the first couple, this one, I don't know. I mean, even the ones I said were really good so far are sort of standalone as well. But well, no, okay, Sonic Rainbow, well, not Sonic Rainbow, even Sonic Rainbow was kind of a standalone when it was introduced. But I don't know. Well, actually, though, I should say like the Over a Barrel one and even the Dragon Shy one, even though I said that was good but not great. But all of them sort of are building this something that's more than just a bunch of standalone episodes. Sort of like these characters, how they grow together, how they have like a greater destiny, maybe how they're growing into the role of the kingdom's hero. So, okay, there is something more there that like, okay, you can see how this would win a fan base, and you can see how this would sort of boost it to the next level, like not just good characterization and good comedy, like in a bunch of separate examples, like how it maybe builds on itself and gets you invested and gets you to like really know and fall for these characters. There is some of that, but more often than not, that's not the kind of show this is, and that's why I'm still at a point where I don't think I'll ever say that this is one of my favorite shows. This is totally has won me over. I'm a brony, whatever. Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to get to that point because I don't know, it's not that kind of show. Like I said, all the way back in the first episode, that shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender have been able to do that for me, and this one, it's like the potential is there, but I mean, it's just the structure seems to be that it doesn't seem to be that kind of show, and I mean that's fine. Every show's different. This one does have a lot to offer about with just day in the life sort of thing, like getting to know these characters just in sort of different adventure. And sometimes a day in the life can be something people appreciate more than like this grand scale adventure and stuff. But I mean, it's like, okay, even shows that do often have just sort of day in the life stuff have been able to build on them, have been able to build like sort of a, what's the word? An arc, like a season long arc sort of a thing. So I mean, yeah, this like, and I guess that's, where's that? This show, it could be that, although it would have to be sort of a full blown, I mean, kind of show, just, and I mean, no, it seems like it's still more of a show intended for kids, and maybe for older kids as well as younger, but still, for kids. Like, it doesn't want to do a season long arc or anything like that. It wants kids to be able to jump in at any time and follow along, because obviously, I mean, the most younger kids, they don't want to become like collectors and stuff like that, so they probably don't even know how. So, okay, it's almost like that's what's holding this show back, that it was sort of meant for kids, that it's not supposed to be the collector's item to match all others. But and then, like I said, that's really fine. It is what it is. That's and even so, it's still very unique. So I can see how even so it does have some fans. That's where I get the overlong explanation for why I say it's like good but not great. But it does have great episodes, and this was one of them. So okay, and now that you have my overlong explanation, that I might end up just editing some of it out, but okay, now that you have it, the next episode is Owl's Well That Ends Well, and we'll see where it builds from there. It's certainly got big horseshoes to fill, so see what I did there. Okay, come back for more next time. See you then.